It's the Machine of Nonsense, episode 118, live from the Oscars red carpet. That's right, the 95th Oscars. We're here. I'm your host, Aaron. Joined as always by Kayla.
Hey.
Kayla, who are you wearing tonight?
It will be the Hexam line 311.
Yes. Yes, she's in a 311 t-shirt, folks. Mike, how are you, and who are you wearing?
Hello. I'm wearing Old Navy.
Ooh, I dig it.
Yes.
The oldest of navies? One of them? I like it. And we've got a special guest, folks. All the way from, I don't know. I didn't think this through. Katie's here with us.
Hey.
Who are you wearing, Katie?
This is a hand-me-down from my sister-in-law. It's from Carrie's closet.
Ooh, I like it. And I'm wearing a vest, folks. You can't see it. There's no video component to this one. But I'm wearing a vest.
Armani,
You even have some important information in there.
I do. I've got my list.
You have a note to match the clothes. Wow.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
Stationery there.
Everything's
wow.
blue. Everything is blue.
Blue jasmine, I'll call it.
Also, we're sipping champagne. We're keeping this real. It's our Oscar show, everyone. We are doing our Oscars Best Picture show. Katie joined us the last time, I think, on this one. And she's going to join us every year. She's contractually obligated. So we're going to be going down there's 10 nominees for Best Picture. And we're going to break down what order we think they should have been in. Do you guys have a strategy? So, like, you can kind of play this one of two ways. You can play it like, all right, these are my 10 favorites, this is my ranking, or like, this is who I think, like, the guys are going to pick. You know, the Oscar people are going to pick. Is it a personal list for you? Is it, or more of a like, I think Dar's going to win, or whatever? What Mike?
Personal.
Personal. Absolutely personal.
Gotcha, good.
I went about my list as, which one did I dislike the most, and worked my way down from there.
I like it. I also put my least favorite one at 10 as well, and then I went up from there.
It was hard.
It was good.
I had a hard time.
Before we get to the 10 Best Picture nominees, which I should probably let you guys know which they are.
Run them down, Aaron.
Run them down? Let me see if I can do it from memory, because it would be weird if I pulled out my list and then I just read it like how I have it on my list.
Yeah.
So we're going to go...
do it together.
Yeah, we're going to go Elvis, The Fabelmans, Top Gun Maverick, Tar, Women Talking, Everything Everywhere All at Once, All Quiet on the Western Front. Oh man, falling off here a little bit. We have Banshees of Inisherin. We've been talking about that a lot in the Triangle of Sadness. Yes, or just Triangle of Sadness. I said just Triangle of Sadness. So we got one more. It's Avatar 2, The Way of Water. Folks, I wish there was video here because there was swimming, there were Illuminati signs in the air. It was good.
Phil Jackson.
No, it's Phil Jackson. He's running the triangle. He's right. We had all sorts here. The red carpet is getting weird. So those are the 10. And some of them, pretty good movies.
Some of them.
Some of them are pretty good movies. We're going to break
5 of them.
So, out of those 10, so you think 5 are good. What's a snub? What should be on this list and should take, another's place? We don't have to say whose place it should take, but what's like your biggest snub, Mike?
Bones and All.
Bones and All. A movie that I thoroughly enjoyed. I dig that. Katie, you got a big snub?
I don't have a Best Picture snub.
You love this list. These are the 10 best movies that came out last year.
Probably not, but I didn't get a whole lot off of the beaten path here, so...
I dig it.
That's all I got.
Okay.
Batman's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm like, let me go back to last year.
I dig it.
Ones did I?
The Batman, yeah.
It was a little spooky, but it was very well
so
done.
That did very well at the Nominees, the more important award show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike's not happy that it did very well, but I think The Woman King. I think The Woman King is really similar to several of the movies on the list, and I think it just holds up in the same way that, like, a Braveheart or something like that, you know? Like, it's one of those movies. It's a war movie. It's a historical epic. Great performances. It's timely, you know, an all-black cast, all those things. So, yeah, I think The Woman King is... And it's just a fucking good movie. I dug The Woman King.
I'll agree with that. That was the one movie that I didn't watch off the beaten path that I really wanted to see. And I was like, hey, why isn't it on the Best Picture list? So,
Really good.
yeah.
I feel like I had another one. I was thinking of, like, another one, and it's completely escaping me at this point.
Prey, obviously.
Well, Prey, yes, but it got its due.
Yeah. This whole year was a little bit of a not a fan of in movies.
Babylon. Yeah, my number one movie of last year. Yeah, Babylon. And that's such an Oscars movie too.
Yeah.
Like that is like it's a movie about movies and Babylon.
How many times can they reward Chazelle for that?
Every year. He should just make a movie like Babylon every year. And what a fucking movie.
That one's on Paramount now. So
is it? Oh man,
check it out.
I gotta rewatch that. I gotta set aside a half a day to rewatch it. But,
now I'm making a side list of movies I have to watch that are not.
I have many of those.
I hope you love Babylon. I think you're a Baz Luhrmann fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of Baz Luhrmann-esque stuff in Babylon.
He's pretty one of a kind.
Watch Babylon, and
then we'll have another
Giselle's
conversation.
having fun with that movie.
Okay.
Anything else before we get to the tens? Was there like something we want to put as far as like any of the other categories, or Best Actress, or anything else that we want to talk about these Oscars? Good Oscars year? Good movie? You said 5 out of the 10.
Yeah, I think it's tough to have 10.
10's a
really
lot.
good
It was a
movies
lot.
every year.
Yeah, that's a lot to nominate.
And everyone's got their own taste and everything, of course, but there's just some on here like, what? Why is this here? So
Yes.
we'll see. We'll talk about it.
That's why the Naughties are 5. You know, 5's the right number.
I'm more of a fan of fun movies, and there's a lot of just, like, I wouldn't even call them hard watches, like many movies, but just...
There's some hard watches on here. There's some hard...
They're not totally disturbing hard watches, though. They're just kind of slow hard watches.
They're not as entertaining.
Yes, which is what I want out of my entertainment.
I love a black comedy, like, and, you know, that's kind of the Oscar thing, or a war epic. Like, those are the 2 movies that win Oscars. I don't know, let's get down to it. We decided beforehand that we're doing it in pick order, so we're going to start with our 10, each of us, go around, kind of say why it's your number 10 as opposed to your number, higher, and then we'll go on to the next person. Mike has volunteered to be number 1, but to be number 10, the first 10 1, Mike's going first, everyone. Start it off. Have you memorized your list? Everyone else has paper and stuff? Oh, it's on the phone. Okay, got it.
It's a digital man.
He's good.
My number 10, it was almost the movie I didn't get to see, but I think I'm going to just bet that one is better than this one, and that's All Quiet on the Western Front. Did not. Oh, hey! We're gonna have a
are you matching with that?
Matched.
Wow.
Just a poo-poo doo-doo movie.
Poo-poo doo-doo, huh?
Just boring, and there's no one to cling on to or to like. Oh, I like that person. Oh, like there's the guy from Inglourious Bastards who's in some scenes, but man, just a slog of a movie. I didn't even finish it.
Wow.
I got to about the halfway point, which is 7 hours, I think.
Oh, the halfway point? Yes.
Yeah.
6 and a half.
I didn't have a half of a day to watch all of this movie. And, I don't know. Katie, why didn't you like it?
All Quiet on the Western Front was my number 10 also. And I wasn't into the war movie. My war movie pick was 1917, a couple of years ago.
Yes.
And so this year I was like, all right, that ship has sailed. And you're at number 10, so all right.
Just because 1917 was really good?
So much better. Yes, it's
very good.
another World War I movie.
Okay.
It's a gorgeous movie. It's
Mhm.
engaging. Like, I don't know.
Man. All quiet on
It's
the
all
Western
quiet
Front.
because you fall asleep.
Damn. Coming out strong about All Quiet on the Western Front. Kayla, you didn't have All Quiet as your number 10.
I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
All right.
My number 10 is The Fabelmans.
Fabelmans. Ooh.
Oh, man.
Way down in the hole.
Fabelmans is a hard miss for me.
Really?
I think I like half of the movie. I like the kid portion. I like everything to do with the kid. Nothing to do with his parents.
He was great.
He was great. I wanted a coming of age young Jewish man struggling to make movies. That's what I wanted. I didn't want to watch his child mother
Yeah.
sleep with his dad and his best friend. Like, why was Seth Rogen in that movie at all? I don't understand.
He was the side piece.
I didn't like it.
I guess I should have mentioned we are spoiling the shit out of these movies, folks.
It's his life story. It's no secret.
Yeah. It's actually I did read an article that said like that movie's pretty true to like
His
to form. Like it's it's
just care so much more about him making movies than his fucking parent problems.
all right. I dig it. Fabelman's number 10 for Kayla. I'm gonna pull out my list and pick Top Gun Maverick for number 10.
Whoa.
A perfectly fine action movie. I thought it was cool. I enjoyed my time with the movie. We sat there and watched it, and I think we left. You know, me and Kayla were like, "Huh, cool." I don't know why this has been in theaters for 5 years and made $400 billion. This is just
More entertaining.
like
than
it's
something.
not even in the like I don't know top 5 Tom Cruise led action films. Like it's solid. Like I can see the like technical aspect of it. Like it looks like they're in those F-16s or whatever.
The piloting shit is pretty cool.
It looks cool, but it's just like the most just rah. You know, like there's not even a real like they're not even like we're fighting China or we're fighting. It's just like the enemy, the like nondescript enemy, and in this, it just feels very generic in a lot of ways. Like other than wow, it's got a lot of really good practical effects. I get it. Tom Cruise is 70 and still flying planes. That's great, but
270?
give me like
70.
whatever. He's close, but. Give me the next Mission Impossible, please, or whatever. I'm sure Jack Reacher is pretty decent. Top Gun Maverick, I thought it was fine. Thought it was perfectly fine.
Okay.
That's my number 2.
Well, my 9 is the movie I didn't see. And it's Avatar. It's not streaming yet. It's still on the big screen.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you rank something that you didn't see higher than All
Yes.
Quiet?
Yes, I did.
That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure Avatar is going to just be streets ahead of All Quiet. And
That's fair.
yeah, it's James Cameron. You know, I don't love Avatar 1 at all, but I'm sure this would be better than All Quiet. Yes. What's your number 9, Kate?
I love it.
My number 9 was Tar. And the only reason I did it so low was the script was real wordy. Some of their vocabulary, it was just tough to keep up.
They're
And
speaking a different language.
so I was
It's a
like,
different language.
Half of the movie is just like composers that died
so
thousands of years ago that she's rattling
I
off.
think I understand the German better than I understand the English when they're speaking. Like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it was a harder watch for me, so I put it at number 9.
I dig it.
My number 9 is Banshees of Inisherin. There's really only one good thing out of that movie. Barry Keoghan.
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 Apparently. Keoghan. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the best part in that movie, and he's not in it nearly enough, and I don't understand
That guy with the
anything
name is the best.
else. I don't understand anything else that happens in that movie.
He's up for supporting actor.
He is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's just, like, I think that movie's about terrible communication, but it just angers me.
I feel you.
I'm all about communication.
Oof.
We got married in Ireland, everyone. We got married.
The place of Banshees in Inisherin does not exist, just
No.
so you know. It's a made-up place.
Made up place. Another made up place.
Real Ireland.
My number 9, The Triangle of Sadness. I keep saying but it's just Triangle of Sadness. I chuckled at quite a bit of this movie. I thought when it's funny, but it is just so on the nose with the whole Eat the Rich, and it's not even the best Eat the Rich movie this year. I didn't even super dig the menu, but the menu's just better than Triangle of Sadness.
I disagree.
And I don't know, it was way longer than I think it needed to be. It's cut into 3 parts, which was weird, very disjointed kind of story. There's just some weird gross out stuff in there that I don't know. I laughed for the first couple 30 seconds of diarrhea, but then the next 5 minutes of diarrhea was a bit much, you know?
When we were watching it, I remember saying, that is a lot of vomit and diarrhea for an Oscar movie.
It's a lot. And I couldn't... It's just a lot of different characters, and you can't... I mean, I guess similar to your thing, you can't latch on to one character, All Quiet on the Western Front. I felt that way with Triangle of Sadness. It's constantly shifting, and no one gets, I think, enough screen time to really... And they all kind of suck, and that's the point, but, I want to at least like one of the people that sucks, and I didn't. I don't know. So, Triangle of Sadness, number 9 for me.
Alright, that's our 9s. I will start the 8s. And it's the king. It's Elvis for me. Guy doesn't sing. Austin Butler doesn't sing. It's a movie of lies.
Oh, mama.
And Tom Hanks is so bad in it. And that awful act. Oh my god. Just the mush mouth bullshit that he's doing in that movie. The way they can, nail the look and the lighting and everything for all those Elvis performances and stuff is great, but this is in the Bohemian Rhapsody zone for me of just a bad version of this. I'm sorry, Katie.
Rats. My number 8 was Triangle of Sadness.
Hey!
And I think I was kind of making a face at you because you were saying all of the things that I was thinking about it too. It's kind of, I don't know, I think it's hypocritical for rich people to make fun of rich people in a movie, and then it was gross. It grossed me out. So I was like,
Well, did it take more than 30 seconds of diarrhea, or was that funny for you as well?
No, it was too much. It was just too much.
Kayla almost she just stopped. She's like, I'm gonna vomit here. I can't do it. Triangle of Sadness, number 8 for Katie.
My number 8 is Avatar: The Way of the Water. That's a boring.
What's the movie about?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Swimming with whales. Swimming with whales. It's the whole hour of it is just that. No dialogue, just swimming.
That sounds awful.
In a new land, and this isn't your land. This is new.
Right.
I think that they just put too much into the movie with not enough substance, because there is a person chasing them. That's why they go to the different land, but that's 15 years from where we left off to where we are now, and they run the whole 15 years of all these children that they have, just spit it out. What are the words I'm looking for?
Explaining.
Right. He just, the main dude just is hey, this is what we've been up to for 15 years. Yeah,
Literally 15 years?
It's something close to that.
Really?
Yeah, because they have some, teenage kids, and they didn't have any kids in the first one. So, yeah, it's
those kids are, seem 15 years old.
Yeah, it might be, 15 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. Time on Pandora, it's different.
It might be different.
Yeah.
Cameron really thought it would take him that long for it to come out.
Such a weird Sigourney Weaver child.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah.
I loved her.
I thought it's nice to look at, but I'm looking around in the movie theater, waiting for something to happen. So
I was gonna say, did you see it in the theaters?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Not in 3D. That sounded like way too much.
I did see it in 3D.
Wow.
It was cool.
Number 8 for me, The Fabelmans. I thought the best performance for my money in that movie is Michelle Williams. I think she's fantastic, but I hate her character. I get that that's, I guess, what his mom was like, but she sucked. So it was tough because love everything she's doing, but also hate everything she's doing. So it was just a very tough watch. As I'm just vacillating between wow, Michelle Williams is just electric here, but she's electrocuting me. I think it was painful.
Yeah.
But I really, really dug all of the him coming up with his practical effects and stuff. And I wish that movie was. I would have taken a 3-hour movie of the how does a 12-year-old come up with special effects?
Right.
Give me that movie. But that was a third of that movie, maybe. And the other stuff was just not as great. But I think it's not a boring movie. It's not a bad movie. There are things to like about that movie. And if you guys have it at your top 3 or something, then I'm not going to be angry. But I found myself kind of frustrated, I guess, with the movie overall. So that's my number 7. Fabelmans.
Nice. Well, that was your 8.
That was of course it was.
Yes.
With my 7,
You're right.
Triangle of Sadness. I think I liked it just a little bit more than some of you. That first 2/3, like you said, worked really well for me. I loved the Russian capitalist and Woody Harrelson as the socialist American and stuff, and just drinking and all the awful things that are happening to this boat, and they're on the intercom, and he's we're sinking, we're sinking. Yeah, very good. And I like A Lord of the Flies Castaway thing. They didn't do it that great, but I was a sucker for that kind of thing. The ending was kind of a head scratcher for me. I didn't really get what they were trying to do with that.
Does she kill her?
I think so.
Okay.
I think
She's alpha.
I think she's fine with her little island life, and she likes being queen of.
She's the captain.
Yeah.
Captain of the forest.
Yeah, but I think if Woody would have lived and made it back to the island for that last part, I think it could have been a little higher. I don't know. That last part was just missing some for me. And yeah, Triangle is 7.
7. Banshees of Inisherin. Oh, I like
That's it.
I mean, if you're done, that's fine. That's cool.
The script was really, really funny. I laughed a lot. But then it was mixed with super serious parts and heart-to-heart conversations and stuff like that and raw feelings. And then they would make jokes at each other, and I would, catch myself cracking up. So, Colin Farrell, I think he's great to look at.
Fair point.
I don't know if he's really like that in real
I'd
life.
even take him dim as he is in that.
But he played that character very well.
Oh,
Yeah, he did. So I just don't understand. I just don't get what the point is.
When you explained it, I hadn't seen it yet, and I said, "Did you watch it?" And you were like, "Yeah, I watched it." He's running around why won't you talk to me? I was like, okay. So I kind of had a good brace to going into it. So I thank you for that, because
It's just a little more funny than
just
serious, which is what I want out of them, but.
yeah, that was my number 7.
Banshees was your 9, right, or 10, or something?
Banshees was my 9.
Yeah. Oof.
Yes.
What's your 7?
My number 7 is Elvis.
Elvis.
I'm not a fan of Elvis. like, strictly speaking, so I already went into this like, oh god, I do not want to watch this movie. I was actually impressed at how much I did like the movie. I think Austin Butler does a great performance. I think the costumes were great. The performances, staging-wise, was great. I didn't know he didn't sing that. Not my forte to catch something like that. Did you catch that, or you just knew that because it's widely known information?
I just knew that he and I think I would be able, like, oh, that's just Elvis. Like, because I'm familiar with it.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, they're all recordings? That's how they did it? They just did it off recordings? Or?
yeah, it's just him lip-syncing the whole
Yeah.
movie.
That's
It's not.
It's a performance. It's a
not.
performance.
Why should he be rewarded for just
Not singing?
pretending? Like,
Well, that's what
Because you
acting
can't.
no, actors just don't go. I'm just moving my lips here for the audio listeners. No, they actually go out there and perform. Like,
Yeah, but Elvis did that. I mean...
Brendan Gleeson didn't cut off his fingers, Mike, just so you know.
fuck.
But the movie did end up making me, like, feel things for Elvis, so it did its job.
Yeah, I think that was a fun, with us, you know, kind of learning about Elvis. I guess I'll save that for my Elvis talk here in a minute.
Save it.
7, again, apparently. Banshees of Inisherin, the movie where Brendan Gleeson didn't cut off his fingers. Beautiful vistas. Ireland's a beautiful country. So, Colin Farrell, really, the performances, once again, like Colin Farrell, really good. I like Brendan Gleeson a lot. I think Barry Keoghan, stood out above, like, two really good actors. He was even better. And then what's the woman's name?
Carrie Condon.
Carrie Condon.
Yeah,
She was also very good. I thought, like, to a T, like, the acting was really good. It's just kind of an absurd premise, like, just
Yes.
like, and that, like, it just kept bringing me down. The premise itself of, like, how do you break up with a friend, is really good, but do you do it by, like, slowly cutting off your fingers when you're a
Musician.
a piano or violin player and all that? It was just bizarre. Fiddle, yes, you're right. Just very bizarre. Just a very, like, and I don't know, it wasn't... There are movies that I like that have bizarre premises. I love, you know, Quentin Tarantino movies or whatever get out of hand all the time, but this one just didn't feel right to me. It just didn't. I didn't buy it. I was like, why is this dude doing this? There's other ways. Like, he could smack Colin Farrell around or something, or move off the island, or literally do anything, because he's saying throughout this movie that he wants to, like, be remembered for his fiddle playing. He wants to compose this amazing thing, and
He does.
Yeah, he does. But Banshees, good movie, not great movie. Number 7.
All right. So my last of the bad half, and I think this might change with a rewatch, but it's Tar for me. Just a great Blanchett performance. I don't know. It was the way you guys felt about Banshees. I kind of felt about Tar. Like, where is this going? What is this doing? Like, I know it is kind of like she's just a shitty person, and she kind of gets caught up in that at the end. But I don't know. I needed some kind of more twisty turny to it, I guess. It's really just kind of straightforward, matter of fact. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I hope Blanchett doesn't win, but it sounds like she's going to win for Best Actress, which is deserved so. But yeah, that's Tar for me. I don't know. I'd like to rewatch it, even though, like, that's another 3-hour one, right? Or something.
It's a long
Pretty
one.
long.
How many 3-hour movies are on
They're
here?
all
There's
All of
so
them except
many.
Women Talking. All of them except Women Talking.
Banshees is like a $1.30, I think. Like, it's an hour 30, I believe.
Banshees?
I believe it's a jog compared to the marathons.
But I
of
think
these
because
other
it dragged us
ones.
down, it seemed longer.
I guess,
We were
yeah.
like, "Ugh, don't be friends anymore, bye.
At least half of this list is like 3-hour movies.
I think Mike only watched an hour and a half of Banshees, and he's like, "Fuck, it was good."
I watched that movie twice.
See, the first
So-
reaction you had to it, I thought you didn't like it.
I watched it a second time, Kayla, and I
Mm.
advise all of you
okay.
to watch it a
I'm
second
into
time.
it.
But, Katie, you're number 6.
My number 6 was Top Gun.
Hmm.
It was very good and very entertaining. The only reason that it's in my bottom half is I asked my dad to go to the movies with me. He's like, I'm not going to the movies. And so I was like, oh, fine. And so that was Top Gun that we were going to go see. And so I was like, my dad didn't want to go to the movies with me. So it's my number 6. It's my number 6.
Yeah, it's like a dad movie.
I
Yeah.
know! I
Hey,
thought
Dad
it was a
movie.
great idea.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, well, I'm only going if I can see Top Gun, damn it.
Right.
Something. All right,
And I
Dad,
ended up
but
watching it
okay.
at my house in like 4K
You
or
failed.
whatever.
You failed.
Mm.
That's it.
And so I was like, it was okay, but I have a bad taste. Meh.
Yeah, that can happen. My number 6 is Tar. Like Mike said, I think it's a great performance. I didn't feel like it was very straightforward. There's like people sitting in her bedroom that you see in the shadows in the background. What the fuck is that? Why the fuck is that? There's
Right, I wanted
like-
more of what...
I'm like,
the-
is she like
Yeah.
tripping? Is she going mad? But then it doesn't seem like she's going mad. It just seems like she's bad.
Mhm.
But I even wanted to know more of that. They just kind of they just peekaboo at those little things. Like, she went into the abandoned place and tripped, but said she was mugged. What the fuck? Why did she... I don't understand why she was doing some of the things that she was doing, and they never, like, enlightened me to those things.
There's like a fan theory online that she dies then, and everything else is like the afterlife or a dream sequence or something to that
Sure.
effect.
It's the good place.
Yeah. So
Another Maverick theory, huh?
yes. Yes. Just like
I mean, there were lines that she delivers that I'm like, huh, wow, she's really profound.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, oh, go trip all the way down the stairs. Not up the stairs, down the stairs. But I don't know anything else. I don't know anything that happened with her. I just know that she's a composer and lied.
Monster Hunter World. I think. Yeah. So as Mike said, the last of the back half, the back 5.
Yes.
Number 6 for me is Elvis. Baz Luhrmann's Elvis. That's a Baz Luhrmann-ass Baz Luhrmann film.
I liked that part of it.
I really dig William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Big fan of that one. I like Great Gatsby. I like his films, and I liked Elvis as well. I did.
At number 6, you liked it?
At number 6, I liked. I watched a lot of movies.
Okay,
This
okay.
is, yeah.
All right.
It's just.
What'd you like about it?
I thought so. I mean, maybe it's not fair to say that, like, after watching it, Suspicious Minds was just stuck in my head for, like, a week. That's another song.
What does that have to do with the movie?
I think in the way
I could
that,
give
like,
you Elvis Greatest Hits,
Right.
if you want.
in the way that, like, a good, like, biopic kind of gets you intrigued in that person's life and that kind of thing. I could kind of care less about Elvis. I like some of his music. I already liked Suspicious Minds before seeing that movie, but, like, seeing it on screen and on stage, even if it's pantomimed and all that, like, that's the closest I'm ever going to get to, like, seeing Elvis in 4K performing those songs and the crowds and all those things.
I mean, we can get married in Vegas.
Yes. I don't think legally we can.
We can pay an Elvis to perform for
But no, I just think, like...
Yes, and he'll sing. Lip sync for you
Willie,
guys.
I
bet
wouldn't
he would.
guarantee it. I might pay him not to sing because I'd prefer Elvis's real voice.
I think there's some really problematic, like, racial shit, like the whole, like, oh, Elvis was just just a black dude, you know, right? Like that's the movie kind of acts like, yeah. There's whole scenes where like with people he barely met in his career and stuff. So it's not the most like faithful to the truth kind of movie, but like the spectacle of it, the like capturing like Elvis was a phenomenon and all of that, and I think it captures that pretty well. Tom Hanks is rough. I don't dig Tom Hanks in that movie, but I do dig Austin Butler. I do dig the story, the Elvis. It's like right down the middle, just a solid like biopic in my mind.
I think it's the gyrations that you like.
Yes, yeah, I did. I loved his suits. I think I would wear all of his suits. Can't wear pink. Can't do pink, but everything else.
Just watch Walk Hard instead.
Yes,
it's better Elvis than that. Jack White's a way much better.
I mean, I agree.
On to number 5s all around.
The 5s. Here we go.
Halfway mark.
My number 5 is a little movie from Steven Spielberg, The Fabelmans. I really dug it. I don't know. I thought Michelle Williams was like really weird in the movie, like the first half. But then there's a point where Sammy, young Steven Spielberg, finds out about her dirty family secret, you know, with Seth Rogen, and they have this connection. They have this bond after that. And
they have that trap.
What do you mean?
Dare you do that to your child? That's a terrible thing to do to your child because you're incapable of being an adult.
What did she do?
He offered to keep a secret.
He clearly, when he first learned about it, he was not okay with it.
No.
So I think his real feelings are that he is not okay with it, and that he has to keep this secret for his mom to keep his family together, for his sisters and his father. That's not a thing a child should have to deal with.
Yeah, but then they do have this cool secret that they keep together, and
because she.
Then it's like, I don't know. I think Michelle Williams does do some good Michelle Williams stuff in the middle there, and I really like Paul Dano.
Yeah, I did too.
I love me some Paul Dano. I didn't like Seth Rogen that much. I thought his
had like 4 lines, right?
I don't know. He's got a lot of like. He's just. It's so obvious. Was it obvious to you guys?
Yeah,
immediately.
Unfortunately,
I was skeptical, but I didn't know until he was doing the review on the editing machine.
Oh, really?
I didn't catch on to it.
I was like,
I think that's what the movie wants.
The first
but,
line about him is
I
literally
played
like
along.
Paul Dano's, I think it's Paul Dano's mom who was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Right, and then he's like, well, this is my best friend. I'm like, oh, okay. But then he like, when she's practicing piano, he just has so many, like, remarks about it and stuff like
It's
that.
creepy.
And I was like, so, I mean, they're fucking. Like, this thing is like, really? I'm like, yeah, I bet that's gonna be. And it was. And, yeah, the filmmaking stuff is cool. Yeah, it just worked for me. The David Lynch stuff at the end, him as John Ford, was pretty cool, and a little too long, too long for me. Could have been a little higher.
The Lynch was a good touch. I like that a lot.
My number 5 was Women Talking.
Good movie.
I was struggling with the religious compounds of it, and then. You know, they didn't really go a whole lot of places either.
Mm-hmm.
I almost I wanted to see it like as a play or something on stage, because I feel like that would be really. The script was great, and the actresses were amazing. And then I like the costumes too, like the handmade, cute stuff.
What do you think of the names?
Oh, they're like Kingdom Hearts names. They're so weird. They're just.
They're escaping me. What?
Marashay.
I couldn't tell you what they are because they're.
There's like Sora.
Xenohort.
It's the only Kingdom Hearts name I know. There's like Donald.
No, but like they're salami is one of their salome or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
is one of those
Salome, I
names.
think, is
Salome, yeah.
I mean, that's how
Claire
those
Foy, right?
deep religions go. They take them right out of
It's not great.
the religious texts.
That's how
Bet
they
you all the dudes' names were like Don and shit. Like,
Yeah, that's how they keep
Bill.
them there, because if you go out of here, they're going to laugh at you. They're going to make fun of your name. You're not going to get a job anywhere.
I'm just gonna write down Kim, okay?
Yeah.
But I liked it. It was very thought-provoking, and you always think about, what if I was in that situation? What would I do?
Kill him, motherfucker.
And
Kill him.
you kind of sit with that after the movie's over, and you're like, ooh, let's try to move away from that direction,
Kayla's a Claire Foy. Kill everyone. Is her stay and fight.
My
was right.
matching chime was late, but I also have
Yay.
women talking as number 5. Partly because they're literally just women talking in a barn. That's it is just dialogue. It is just these women emotionally delivering these lines, this situation, these decisions that they have to make, these questions that would come up. What do you like? Yeah, sure. I say I'd kill them all and leave, which I think is possible because it's like 2003 or some shit. Like you can
it's
leave.
Pretty modern.
You can leave. There is a world out there that you can live in. But I thought it was weirdly inspiring.
Their faith runs so deep that, they were considering staying because they wanted to go to the kingdom of heaven or whatever if they didn't forgive him. And I was like, you couldn't pay me to think like that.
Yeah, you couldn't.
Good movie, Kingdom of Heaven, though. Be top 5 for me this year. Ridley Scott does no wrong. Number 5, Mike, is Women Talking. That's a 3-fer, by the way. Now, women talking. I don't know that I can say much more than you guys did. Great performances. I think the thing that stands out for me is going into the movie. It was the 10th out of 10 that we watched.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most recent we watched. No, it's not actually, but it was the 10th that we watched. And going into it, I'm like, this is gonna be a drag. This is gonna be like. I already know what the subject matter is, and it's just gonna be not a fun watch or anything.
Squirmy.
And I wouldn't say it was a fun watch necessarily, but it moved. It moved. It was not 3 hours like all the rest of the movies, and I dug that about it. I thought it made a good point. I think it wasn't kind of as on the nose as like a Triangle of Sadness or something like that. And yeah, I just thought good performances. And with even with the limited space and everything else, it still looked really good as well. So, yeah, number 5.
Moody is the note that I wrote down.
Moody. Very moody. But not as moody as Banshees.
A lot of moves.
Poor mood.
She said, "Why aren't you talking to me?"
You mean that's what happened in Banshees?
Yeah, that's her synopsis.
I'm leaving. Elvis is our number 1. Fine.
Get the heck out of here.
Oh, it's so good. Oh.
My number 4 is Top Gun Maverick.
Wow. Wow. Go, guys. I'm sorry.
Just a fun movie. Just one of the better, junk food type movies. I don't think it should be up for Best Picture, really. But it made all the money, so they,
I was shocked that they nominated it for Best Picture. I was like, okay, that's good.
It saved cinema.
Saved cinema. He saved it.
All right.
And it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I mean, for real, all the 50-year-old women that I work with who don't know anything about any other movies that come out, they all went and seen Top Gun.
Everyone saw it.
Right.
Yeah. And
My dad didn't see it.
it's the one person.
He missed
The
out.
one holdout.
Yeah.
Hate Tom Cruise.
They're checking all the tickets and they're like, every human on the planet has seen this movie except one.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But it's just a really well-made movie, them, here's the plan. Here's what we got to do. Okay, we have to train to do the plan. Hey, we did it. We did the plan.
And we can have a little fun in the sun, playing
Yeah.
volleyball. It just was such a summer movie. Like, if I wanted to feel like it was summer, that's the movie.
And a spring movie, and a fall movie, and a winter movie, and then the following spring movie. I'm just
Summer
commenting
blockbuster.
on the fact that it's been in theaters for 3 years.
I know.
What did you guys think of Miles Teller?
I like Miles.
I like Miles.
I've liked him since Whiplash.
The skating?
No, that's Whip.
Whip it?
What is
The roller derby. Sorry, I'm getting off.
Right. Whiplash is the drumming movie.
Oh, okay.
Whippet's the Drew
tar-
Barrymore roller derby.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Good movie though. Dig that movie.
Yeah.
Juliette Lewis. Yeah.
Whiplash is a good double feature with Tar, I think.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's just really fun and good. It's a good number 4.
I like Miles Teller's face. Don't like it.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I get what you mean there.
My number 4 was The Fabelmans. I thought it was movie perfection. I thought
Oh.
you give me an origin story or a life story of Steven Spielberg and then play it with different people. I want to know everything. And
I wish I knew more.
See, I wanted to see Steven Spielberg as the little kid. I wanted to see him acting.
I think the thing is, like, his stuff, there wasn't a lot to make a movie about that. Like, he didn't really have it that bad. Like,
Right.
someone puts a bagel in his mouth.
Yeah.
It's like the worst thing that happens to this kid. And you're supposed to be like, oh, man.
That's
he's
probably the
really
only
having
thing
it.
that didn't
I
happen
don't
to
have to
him.
see negative things. I want to see him creating these things that he did.
Kids aren't going to create great things.
He did.
Like, I don't think, like,
I
these
would-
people are in the crowd, like, just sobbing.
Then
Then
take me more into
Come
his
on.
young adult
Hey,
life.
man.
I just didn't need half of the movie to be.
People had heart attacks and shit on Elvis. I think people were built different back then.
Maybe you're right, but I think Fabelmans needed all of the Michelle Williams.
She was great.
My number 4 was Top Gun. I kind of already jumped in on yours and said what I wanted to say, other than the fact that the flight scenes I thought were just like those were real flight
Yeah.
scenes that they flew and recorded and piloted and acted all, and I thought that was just a feat to accomplish.
Yeah, they just had to find every bridge they could. They could turn a fighter jet on its side and fly through. And they pulled it off. It was
A lot
good.
of bridges in China or Russia.
Or Atlanta. That's where they
Yeah.
film all the movies now on TV, so.
Number 4.
Oh, number 4, Tar. The best performance I've seen all year. Kate Blanchett. Oh, hey, look, Kate Blanchett can act well. But she does. I don't know. She's just really good. She learned German. She relearned how to play the piano. Apparently she knew and then forgot and then relearned for the movie.
Wow.
And
Her accordion playing is what I like.
yes, yeah, it's one of the best scenes.
Yeah,
It's
I
really
like
good.
that.
But all the negatives that you guys have said are 100% true. 80% of that movie went right over my head from the conversations that they had that were just all about old composers and the vibrato and the treble clef stuff. Okay, sure, I don't know.
Plays the cello.
Yeah, I don't know a single fucking thing about orchestra or really about music in general, but it made me really interested. It was like, oh shit, conductors are kind of cool. They're kind of like rock stars. I didn't know that, and I didn't know that there's this whole rotational aspect of oh, you're in the you're the conductor of the Berlin, but you're only the guest conductor, and then you can rotate to the Sydney Orchestra or the Chicago Orchestra. Just all the inner workings of that music world were just really interesting, even if I got 20% of it. And then there was a really good psychological kind of thriller horror movie in there somewhere, kind of.
I didn't like that part of it.
I wanted more of all of that. I like it. If when it was happening, it was like, man, this is freaky. Give me like in a lot of ways, like Black Swan kind of came to mind in a lot of ways, like the cooler, like more horror elements of that movie. And yeah, it's just like it kept me going. I don't know what it's like really about. I think it's like other than being like, oh yeah, she gets like, canceled at the end, and she gets like she gets her comeuppance for being like an asshole. But like,
she's already traveled like in the beginning. They have this whole thing about how much she's accomplished, and isn't it like being in different countries that she didn't speak, and she like. You mean to tell me what she's doing is a punishment? That's just what she gets to do what she loves in a different country, which she has already done. Sure, she's not the British conductor, but bitch, you fucked that up.
That's a pretty big fall from grace when you're doing like
so would prison.
The biggest like. What, like you said, like the Berlin Symphony or whatever.
Apparently is #1 in the world or whatever.
And she goes to like Thailand or something, and
I
she's
think it's
like
Korea, and she's doing Monster Hunter World.
She's doing a symphony at a comic convention or something. So
she probably belongs in prison. Is the whole
in the
millions of dollars will keep you out of.
When I don't feel bad for you.
No, I don't think like her like comparing what happens in my favorite movie of the year, Babylon, what happens to like those characters by the end of the movie versus like what happens to Tar at the end of this movie. It's like, yeah, she's still doing all right. I think she's still like a millionaire, and she's still getting to compose and stuff. So no, I don't feel bad for her or anything like that. But I don't just an insane performance, and
I'd say Kate's best work since she played Elizabeth Tudor.
Sure. I mean,
Queen
that's
Elizabeth.
tough. What would be the best Kate? I don't know. She's so good in that. Even bad movies, she just makes.
When you were talking about the dialogue, or
or Ragnarok.
You don't have to know what she's saying to just watch her and
feel
in love with
her.
her.
It's just going back and forth between English and German, and like it's just feeling very seamless and stuff, and talking to these ridiculous composer names, and like I don't know, the line readings were just superb, like just insane.
The clock doesn't start.
But my heart stopped.
Okay, top threes.
Top threes.
My number 3 is Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Hey, we got that. What a just a fun, trippy idea of a movie. When like all this multiverse kind of stuff has been happening the last couple of years, this is probably the best of all of that. I remember seeing the trailer, and I forget what I saw, but just thinking, oh man, that looks pretty cool, and it turns out to be potentially the best picture winner this year, and just so many heartfelt, great moments in it between Michelle Yeoh and I don't know the actress who played the daughter in it, but
Stephanie Sue or Sue.
I think just Sue. Yeah.
Sue.
Nice.
I think Asian style. Yeah.
Man, great fight choreography, all of the crazy little side universe moments and stuff. And this was like a 3-hour movie that didn't feel 3 hours to me. Mm-hmm. So, hats off to them for pulling that off. And, it's the third best movie.
I didn't realize that was one of the 3-hour runtimes.
If it's not 3, it's very close.
I wanted it to just keep going.
Yeah.
I really liked it. It was also my number 3. And the multiverse stuff and the, multi-dimensional, I love that. I can't. Everyday life is just kind of A to B, and then when something is introduced like that, I'm like, yes, take me to the other side. I want to be on, it's possible. Here we go. And then I don't like martial arts and stuff, but it was so cool to watch in that movie. I loved it. The choreography of it was amazing.
Are you more of the everything bagel, nihilism kind of thing, or the supreme Kiwi Kwan, I just want to do laundry and taxes with you?
I I'd probably be 50-50.
Ah.
Gotta find some peace in both of those.
In some universe, you're 100,
Right,
and in another,
right.
you're 100 on the other.
It's true.
Yeah.
One of that bagel, they stole it to that locker.
Yeah, plain
Yeah.
answer.
Reuse, yeah. It's kind of like Gwyneth Paltrow's head in 7. They reused that one. They're going to keep reusing that.
I haven't seen it yet. 7.
Wow. Sorry, spoilers for a
Now I know
25-year-old movie.
My number 3 is All Quiet on the Western Front. I thought it was beautiful. I did attach to the main character, and I mean, you follow him the whole time.
I wish I had.
It's just
Well, he didn't follow him the whole time.
It's
I left
just
him in that pit when he was just putting dirt in that man's mouth.
Oh.
war sucks. War is stupid. It's just it's all terrible. The whole movie does make you feel uncomfortable and terrible, but it's beautiful and sad, and I liked it.
Was it World War II? That one was based on one?
And the boring one.
Well, 1917 was also World War One.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was just like overplayed in my head. I don't know. So, like, I'm done with World War
1917 is a better movie.
Yeah,
I'll
it
give you
is.
that.
It is.
So that was your number 3?
My number 3.
Alright.
I told you guys I made this list
Whoa.
from the ones I hated the most to the ones I didn't hate the most.
Okay.
You hated the least.
There's really only one on here that I really like.
Man. Damn.
Well, I really like several of these movies. One of them being number 3, Avatar: 2, The Way of
The
Water.
one you never remember? You never remember that this is the Oscar
Because
list.
it blows my mind that it's a Best Picture nominee. This is
True,
the
true.
like comic book ass like movie
CG film.
CG. Yeah, I mean it's. But I love Cameron. I love what he does. This movie just like felt a lot like Aliens and like The Abyss, and just like you felt like his all little pieces of all of his stuff, his love of water and everything else. It's beautiful. It's just like it's the best CG that exists. And I dig CG. Like when CG's good, like in some Marvel films, it makes a whole movie. It creates a world and does some really cool things. And Cameron just does it better than anyone, I guess, at this point. It's a very long movie. There's like a pretty like uninteresting or just kind of bland middle to it, but it starts strong. There's some really cool, like, getting you reacquainted with... They throw it out there really quick, because, it's like 15 years in between these movies.
Yeah, rapid fire was
It's
the word I
rapid
was
fire,
looking for
but, like,
earlier.
it's like, okay, cool, they're a family, and they're still fighting kind of wars and shit with this, and that's enough, that's all. And then they get right to that. There's battles and cool shit. Then we got some establishing things in the middle, even though it's kind of boring in the sense like, these characters aren't anything, like none of the characters stand out, or you don't like fall in love with anyone. It's constantly cool to look at, and it's constantly like big whales, crazy vistas, water that looks amazing. Like just, it's a video game movie basically. It's like the best video game that you can think of put to film for 3 hours, and then the finale is just as action-packed as any Marvel movie, any war movie, any whatever, and it's done very well. It's PG-13, but they up the violence to like as far as you can get in a PG-13 movie, which I dig. Like if it's gonna be a war movie and stuff, I want it to be violent. And yeah, it hit for me pretty well on that. Like it's I think what everyone else said about like Top Gun Maverick, just like, man, this is a cool popcorn action flick. Avatar's that for me.
Nice.
The Na'vi are just the stupidest looking things.
They're not great. No.
They're so bad looking.
Yeah.
And you have to stare at them for
movie.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Are you talking
Yeah.
about their color? Or
No, their faces,
the
they
structure there.
look like
they're
stupid.
aliens.
They're like cat aliens or something.
They're not
They're
from here.
cool aliens.
Yeah.
Well, they
Like,
don't live
there's-
on Pandora, okay?
They're bad.
Pandora
They
people,
look so dumb.
the Nominees.
James Cameron has had 30 years to create something cool looking, and he's fucking failed. And we got like 5 more of these movies to see these things. They're bad. Number 2,
Number 2.
women talking.
Yeah, women. Oh, they're so bad. I just hate looking at women. No.
I just wanted them to keep talking when Klaus fucking shows up and ruins the fucking
They all
party.
did. They were like, bye.
Well, yeah, like, and just the way, like, at the end, they're just, well, we gotta go. Like, it took one of them to get back to that village. One man, and they're like, wait, fuck, we gotta,
They're like,
we
let's
gotta
make a
get the fuck out of
decision.
here. And I just love, like, the 12 angry men of it all. Just them in the barn deciding this thing. Okay, let's start here. Let's go to, like, what if this happens? What are we gonna do? What? This is the only place we've ever known. Like, you know. And man, just Claire Foy just going crazy. Like, I'm gonna kill every single person that hurts my kid.
So good.
Mara Rooney being like the voice of reason, and we gotta think of all this. The Buckster, Jesse Buckley, just being in a terror. Like, what do you mean? Ugh.
I hated her.
Because she wanted to stay and was like fearful of what could happen. Like, what her thought is like, what can we do? Like, what are we gonna do here? This is all we have, and it completely worked for me. I don't remember the actor's name who plays August, but man, he's so good in it too. And just the idea that like his life is gonna be over after he does. Like, he's gonna like. These guys are going to kill him probably, or he's going to probably take his own life, or flee or something just for helping these people. Like, he doesn't even help them. He's just there taking minutes in a meeting.
Well, he's the only one who knows how to write.
Right. And the scarlet letter that he'll have for helping these people. And the movie just gets to it right away. It's not like they don't try to introduce the town or make you empathetic for any of the other people in this town. It's just like, they caught the men doing these awful things, and we got to talk about it, and it's so good.
I think that's one of the things I didn't mention. The men are just so far removed, like, and that they're like the boogeyman. Like, they're just like a scary figure. You kind of see one off on the porch at one point.
Klaus,
and they're just scary. You know, they're like this other thing out there, and it's really good.
I will say too, also, I appreciate them not doing like graphic assault scenes. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is say it and realize that happened to them. You don't have to put it on.
The aftermath was enough. That was pretty graphic.
I was expecting it to be like something I had to watch,
right?
And I did not. And I'm thankful for
that.
that.
I was
just seeing the scars on Frances McDermott's face, and
yeah.
her like one's like missing an eye or something. Just the awful way that the generational trauma that has happened in this community and what it took for them to break out of it is so good. Love it.
We're on number 2. That was your number 2.
My number 2.
My number 2 is Avatar: The Way of Water. It was, me, Christian, and James all went, and it was a family experience for the 3 of us. We had 3D glasses on. My tears were flowing, so I'm like trying to maneuver around the glasses, and I loved it. It was the message of the family and stuff like that. It was great.
But who made them so ugly? Who caused them to have that?
I like looking at them.
Klaus. It was Klaus.
That's fucking Klaus.
I think they're kind of cute.
No, they're not.
And I like this.
They're not as cute as Grogu, but they're kind of cute.
I like the subtle color changes too. That the forest Na'vi people were like a darker blue, and the water ones were a little like aqua blue. And I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
They're different shades.
Yeah.
I think the way they expanded that universe in kind of just like subtle ways was pretty cool.
There's different blues.
They're different Na'vi.
Got an Avatar.
Yes.
Yeah, it took me a second.
I mean, I'm not a fan of
I'll get that in
either
post.
Avatar movies. My number 2 is Triangle of Sadness. I feel weird that it's my number 2 and everybody has it really low, but as much as I do feel like, okay, that was 3 different movies, it is the one that I kind of find myself thinking about the most. I'm gonna call him Boris. I don't think that's his name, but I think you guys all know who I'm talking about.
There's like a 50% chance that you're right about that.
I really enjoyed his character.
Me
He
too.
was kind of like I'm rich and
I said shit.
right. He was just like so confident and matter of fact and real. Like him and Woody Harrelson, I loved all of that. I would say I wrote down the middle part is my favorite part, and as we've sat here and talked about all the literal shit that are in the middle part, I kind of questioned saying that. I like just how they kind of set things up and kind of tackle her being like an influencer and like just make a lot of money, and the person who sells shit, the class people. Once they get to the island, right?
Those old people.
I thought it was like the movie I was entertained by the most. There were just what the fuck is going on moments that I think did kind of get revealed, whereas other movies didn't give me a reveal. Even though the ending is like a super cliffhanger, but I feel like we know what happens.
It was more like, it ends on the young guy running. What's he running from?
Running to.
It looks like he's turning around and something's like chasing him.
I guess I didn't get that. Interesting. Yeah, I thought he was running up the hill that they had just like come from, like
to like get her. Like he knows
that's
what I took from.
My masters is after my lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another question. So you've all been on cruises.
No.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Yes.
I thought you've all been fucking just
He's the only one.
So, Eric.
Dinner cruises.
Were you
Those
able to
are like 2
just
hours
do whatever
long.
you wanted? On, like, do the...
No, you couldn't just tell the people to, like,
Yeah,
take
I want
off
you
their
to
clothes
swim with me right now.
I think this
Stuff
is
like
like some sort of super...
Royalty.
Like a charter.
Yeah,
It's
charter.
an
yacht.
Illuminati cruise.
I think
This
so.
is-
Yeah,
yes.
they were heading to Epstein Island, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Man, this is some weird fucking rules in this.
No, yeah.
It's not
Shit.
their carnival.
They make you feel.
Right,
They definitely make you
Club
feel
Med
like
over
that
here.
on a cruise. Like, oh, you can do anything, but really, it's just like, oh, there's open bar. Like that's
Right.
really like it's like yes, you can order any of these boozes. That's what you can do. Cruises are fun.
I wasn't sure if like the employees like they were gonna get a big tip or
That's-
something. Like
yeah, I
that was
think
all
that's-
that came down to. Like I'll do
Don't
whatever
they,
you
like,
want. Just give me $100.
cheer for money?
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
The landmine scene was my favorite. Them describing like, yeah, there were some hard times. I think they made them illegal. You just couldn't
Landmine, yeah.
put any landmines out anywhere. That was good. Good. I love that our lists are quite different. This is pretty good. Another movie about landmines. My number 2, All Quiet on the Western Front. Prettiest movie out of all of them. I just said Avatar was. I think the cinematography on this movie is. I turned to Kayla and said, "Why don't somehow the cameras are just better in this movie? Like, why? How are the images?
It's whatever Sammy wanted in the Fabelmans or whatever.
Whatever it is, yeah. It's the
newest
2000, whatever. Just like everything's so sharp. Everything is just so you see the sweat on everyone, the mud, the just different colors and everything
Never
else.
that's all it
Advertising.
is.
It's the grossness. It captures the grossness, horrific nature of war, and specifically like that war of that time where like it was this glorious. Everyone like the beginning is everyone being like lied to that you're gonna go and defend your
Be a
country and be a
hero.
hero and it's glorious and everything else.
That scene was cool. Like all of the children basically.
Yeah.
Children, they were
That
babies.
stairwell, yeah.
Yeah, the guy like forging his dad's signature to go off and everything else, and that was such a thing. I kept that kind of in my mind while watching these people just rip each other apart. You mentioned like the scene where they're in the crater and he's literally stuffing mud into the other guy's mouth to keep him quiet so he doesn't get shot and everything else. And it's just like, this is awful. Like, this is awful. That's what you're supposed to like feel and think. It was like the reason that book and everything's popular is it's an war story, you know, like it's meant to like, you're supposed to hate war at the end of that, and it's like, fuck yeah, that worked. Like this is gross and terrible and
write your congressman not to apply for any wars. Don't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's like literally a form of gum disease that can be originated to World War One, and I think that they like really hit on it a lot.
There. Oh, the trench mouth thing you mentioned? Yeah.
It's like all their teeth are fucking gross. I can't look at them.
Yeah, and the people like I think they did such a great job of just showing like, man, these people like. It starts off, they just got fresh face, like young kids or whatever else, and then the next scene you see them, they just look like they've aged 30 years. And
sorry, we left that name tag on the uniform. Let me just rip that off real quick.
So good. Yeah, I don't know. That movie just worked for me on pretty much every level, I think. Yeah, my number 2.
Spent half a day watching it?
Yes, it
dedicated half a day.
Not a movie I'm gonna like watch again, I think.
Right.
But
once enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Number one.
Number one.
Do you guys know what mine is?
I don't.
Yes,
I haven't
I
been
do.
taking.
Well, you do because
I
you've been
haven't.
right now.
Yeah.
But I still know.
Uh,
Still know.
my number 1 is the Banshees.
The Banshees. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Just a beautiful movie. What are you guys talking
I
about?
thought you hated this movie.
I didn't hate it the first time I watched it. I kind of felt like
I'm gonna
you, just
pull
like,
up
what
your-
was that? You know? But then you watch it a second time. It takes 2.
Oh, that's the trick.
And then you decide, like, oh, it's this fucking little island surrounded by war with these boring feckin' people. You're all feckin' boring. And just, wanting to break out of that. And Shaban gets to break out of that. Fucking, what's his full name? Calm Sunny Larry wants to just break out, and he tries to just have his own little piece of life, and he can't. And Padraig? What is
Padraig.
He just can't deal with that because his life is good enough. Like his little island life is good enough. And how is this not the most beautiful movie?
It's very pretty.
Every shot, like, just on the wall, like, what, you live here? Oh my god, it's gorgeous.
If they would have just done the movie with landscapes from the islands, I would have definitely put number 1.
Ireland's
good.
fantastic. It's insane.
Great animal stuff in this with Jenny and Calm's dog and everything. And they only really go to like 3 places. There's a bar, there's each of their houses, and then there's like a little mail town, like a little town with a mailbox and stuff.
The beer looks so good.
They go to the bar every day. I was like,
yes.
Place to go.
What the fuck are you gonna do?
Right.
When we were in Ireland, the pubs had like reserved seating for the locals.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that was the
That's pretty
you couldn't
wild.
go over there because that was the locals
There's
area.
Padraig's seat over there.
The tourists weren't coming in and making the people who fucking live here not be able to eat and drink.
wow. That's really nice. From an establishment point of view, like,
The locals
your
are coming.
regulars.
Yeah,
they're going to be here at Christmas, New Year's, and Valentine's Day.
that's right.
And just like how the Banshee, the old woman, like can kind of
She was
is just
lucky.
like a oracle throughout the whole movie and stuff. And I don't know, it's something I think I'll rewatch again and again, and we'll get something new out of it every time.
Nice.
My number 1 was Elvis, and it's a Bass movie. I think
A bad movie?
A
Is that
Bass
what you're
movie.
Bass. Okay.
I think I'm slightly addicted to his work. every time I see it, I don't know if it's visually or emotionally or something, but then I just binge it for all of my free time.
Moulin Rouge is your favorite movie.
Yes.
Right, yes.
And then, he did Australia and Romeo and Juliet and Gatsby.
Yeah.
And
Never
then
seen Mulan.
I wasn't
I've seen Mulan.
I wasn't a fan of Elvis's music or anything.
Yeah.
And then I saw this movie and I was like, I want to know everything about Graceland, about Priscilla, about...
There's nothing there, though, really,
But
to those things.
It's a lot of underage girls.
Yeah, like...
touche.
I think my thing is, like, Elvis isn't really an interesting person. He was a pretty face and a pretty voice that got hugely famous, and that's it. Like, that's all there is. There's no scene where you can find him writing Burnin' Love or something, because guess what? He didn't write a fucking thing.
Yeah,
And-
but society exalted him to that position. And the Colonel.
Yes, and like
He's an actor. He's a performer, though.
He's a
like,
performer.
yeah, like, you
The
know,
greatest carnival attraction.
he's not a singer. He's not
Right.
a songwriter. He's a
Right.
performer.
Right.
and that's it.
Right. That is it.
That's the thing. I don't know.
I loved that they paid homage to Beale Street. I kind of knew, like, a little bit about it, but then when they brought it up and B.B. King and their friendship, I was like, what? This is so cool.
Yeah, steal my music, go ahead! Steal it all! Steal all my music, Elvis.
I mean-
Yeah, they weren't actually as cool as the movie. But I mean,
Not at all.
I like to believe that they were buddies. You know, I like to believe.
If you just look at the movie and what they present to you,
Yeah.
and you just kind of take apart all the backstory and truth,
Yeah, you
I-
throw the get away, Baz.
for movie purposes, it was awesome. I loved to watch it. I watched it multiple times, and it was good.
Twice or even more than twice.
I think I probably watched it 10 or 15 times.
Holy shit! Wow. Okay.
Oh.
I started it off by saying I think I might be addicted to his work because I just saw the trailer and I was like, oh, that'll be good. It's a Baz movie.
Buy 2 copies
No.
of Elvis. Save you guys some hours on your TV. Just pop in the soundtrack.
That's good.
Also, I did not know that he didn't sing. I didn't know they used the voiceovers.
Yeah, Austin Butler does not sing. He does the Rami Malek.
That's okay.
It's not.
And Bohemian
He's a
Rhapsody was
performer.
good too.
No, it's not.
We've had this conversation.
It
but
is not.
Kayla, what's your number one?
My number one is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Woo!
Good number 1.
Oh, it's time.
We watched it again last night, and
Oh.
I'm really glad that we did. It was already on my list. I mean, it was one of my favorites of the entire year. I think it just has everything. It has daddy-daughter relationship, mother-daughter relationship, husband-wife relationship, self-relationship, like trying to be confident with yourself and be who you are and love the person you love and love the things that you love, and
IRS and small business owner. Like, that's a dynamic that was introduced.
and yes, being an immigrant and trying to get through life and being an immigrant's child and who you are very Americanized.
Mm-hmm.
And it just is very heartwarming. I think the male Kiwi Kwan,
Mm-hmm.
I think he should win. He's best supporting actor, right?
Yeah.
I just think he's just so fun. He's so like charming and heartfelt. He's just like a little teddy bear in there the whole time to make you feel warm and cozy.
I wanted him to be like, come back in the scene so I can calm down.
Right,
You know?
yes, he was very, like, settling for the chaoticness that this movie is, like, completely chaotic the whole time. And I think the first time I watched it, I felt that way, and the second time I got to, like, put together more pieces and understand it better. Just that how many layers of relationship and growth is in there. It's a good one.
Yeah, that stuff is so good.
Multiverse
All that
is
stuff so
not
well.
my bag. I usually am like so confused, but this I like can totally understand.
Cool.
Yeah, it was also my number one. It's been my number one for ever since since I saw it. Nothing has like topped it. I've started making this list months ago, and everything that Kayla said, all of the like emotional stuff. Two viewings. The first viewing, thought it was hilarious and just an awesome like Hong Kong kung fu ass movie with like multiverse comic book kind of shit, and just like that was enough for me. That was a cool movie. On the second watching at home, like a little more maybe attention to detail or whatever else. All the emotional hits of it, just like understanding. I don't think I got the daughter's whole thing and Joba Tupaki's like whole just the bad guy of it all. The first viewing, I think that kind of missed me. But the second viewing, I just like, oh wow, yeah, just the nihilism of nothing matters versus everything matters. Really hit me, really good. Some really good lines in that one. The Wayman Wong saying that he just wants to, it doesn't matter, all of this stuff, he would still choose to do laundry and taxes with you. Like, holy shit.
Aww.
Like, goodness, that was insane. I really liked that, them as, the, like, star-crossed lovers, at the film premiere, all of those scenes. I think those kind of missed me completely on the first watching, and, on the second watching, it was like, wow. That was fantastic.
I will say too, when they broke into the credits, like mid-movie,
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on?
Like,
and I was like, oh, okay, let's keep going.
Yeah.
That part got me.
Yeah, I think, definitely. I don't think it was a sober viewing the first time either, so there was definitely a lot of just...
What is going on?
Yeah, as well, a lot of confusion. But yeah, the Daniels, I've seen 2 of their films at this point, and loved them both, so I might, get a Boz addiction going with them. I don't know.
Is it gonna win?
I think so, right? I think
think
that's
so.
the buzz.
What is Everything Everywhere?
Yeah.
See, and I totally thought that Michelle would win Best Actress.
I hope
And
she
then you
does.
guid
Kind of
Kate.
hope she does too.
I think it's gonna be Michelle.
There's no wrong choice. Between the two of them, there's not a wrong choice.
I don't
think.
like when the Best Picture and supporting or
They all-
actor and if they all win it.
I
I'm
mean, if it wins Best Picture,
I
it
know.
obviously should have the best
It had the
actors
best
in
everything.
it, right?
Yeah.
That's the way I.
but I feel like everybody gets a trophy. That's how I.
they're there. They got
I
nominated.
know.
That would
happy
be
to
fun.
be
We
there.
kind of do that in the naughties, like where we're like, well, yeah, we would really like it.
I didn't do that on my
Arcane,
list.
so let's.
Kayla was like winner, loser, loser, loser.
No.
The Oscars, guys. This Sunday, the 12th, right? It's the 8th
March
as we
12th,
record this.
Daylight savings.
I mean, no, it's not. We're on the red carpet. We're right outside. We're doing this live. Thank you, Katie, for being our special guest on this.
Thank you.
You need to come on more of these. I've
That's
talked
fun.
about doing a music episode or
yeah.
something. Mike's the music guy on the pod. But we
Katie's not invited.
We have difference of opinion on musical talents.
We're
Right.
not talking
Austin
about Elvis
Butler's
for
number
another
one.
hour.
Do we want to, Kayla? You wrote down all the lists, right? Do we want to go one final?
Down the whole list?
Yeah.
Everybody's list?
Yeah, why not?
Alright. Michael's list, starting with number 10, is All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar 2, The Way of the Water, Elvis, Triangle of Sadness, Tar, The Fabelmans, Top Gun, Maverick, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Women Talking, and Banshees of Inisherin. Katie, starting with number 10, All Quiet on the Western Front, Tar, Triangle of Sadness, Banshees of Inisherin, Top Gun, Maverick, Women Talking, The Fabelmans, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Avatar 2, and The Way of the Water, and Elvis. Kayla, myself, had The Fabelmans as number 10, Banshees of Inisherin, Avatar, The Way of the Water, Elvis, Tar, Women Talking, Top Gun, Maverick, All Quiet on the Western Front, Triangle of Sadness, and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Eric had Top Gun Maverick as number 10, Triangle of Sadness, The Fabelmans, Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Women Talking, Tar, Avatar 2, The Way of the Water, All Quiet on the Western Front, and Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Way to go.
I mean, we all had Everything Everywhere All at Once at top 3. Like,
I think
you
that's
two had
fine.
3, we both had number 1. I think it's a sign, too.
Should lock it in.
It's just beautiful. I love it.
It's a good one.
I don't know what else would win.
I don't either.
I mean, I think critics love Tar.
Banshees, baby.
Banshees.
I think they also love Banshees.
Critics like Banshees. Yeah, I think. And those are.
I
Those
don't
are
think anything
more,
else could.
Those are more Oscar movies than Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like Everything Everywhere All at Once is a weird ass like comic book style movie.
Right.
They jump on bubbles.
Banshees is right.
Literally, half
Banshees is a black comedy. Those tend to win Oscars. You know, Tar is a dramatic thriller. You know,
Is
whatever.
it though? What is thrilling?
Kate Blanchett's performance.
True that.
I think Banshee's got a shot. I don't know.
Sure.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I don't know this one.
We need
It's
to
hard
watch.
to watch.
Yes, we know that.
Oh, Mama.
Yes.
Oh boy. Oh, so Elvis is gonna win at the 95th Academy Awards. Hope you enjoy the Razzies, yes, as well. Yeah, that's it. That's our Oscars episode 119 of the Machine of Nonsense.
118.
118, I said 19, huh? We're not doing a 119 now. We're gonna be like, how some hotels don't have like a 13th floor. That's what we're gonna do.
We're doing 119. That's the last episode.
Yes, the next episode on our pod is The Last of Us spoiler cast. The finale is the same day as the Oscars, folks. That was
Sunday, March 12th.
really, really poor planning. I'm gonna watch both. I'm gonna pause the Oscars. And then I'm going to watch Last of Us, and then I'm not going to sleep until the end of the Oscars. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, you'll have already listened to this. You won't need to watch the Oscars because you're going to just go off our lists. And watch Last of Us, all right, folks? And listen to episode 119, the spoiler cast for Last of Us. That's it. That's a wrap. We're getting out of here, and we're saying... Oh, mama.
Bye.
Bye.